It is therefore sometimes the terminal interfix. The O that occurs in a neoclassical compound such as electrolyte in English, see below section 3.6, might also be seen as an interfix. The German interfixes in 15 raised a small problem for morphological description. In 15a, the interfix has the same form as the appropriate morph of the morpheme plural. In 15b, the interfix has the same form of the appropriate morph of the morpheme possessive. In 15c, the interfix has the same form as the appropriate realization of the dative plural, but in 15d, the interfix does not share the form of any morph which otherwise could be attached to the first element. Words like this suggest that these interfixes, whatever they are derived from etymologically, probably do not synchronically represent the morphemes plural, possessive or dative. That being the case, though, there does not seem to be any morpheme which these interfixes to realize. They seem to be morphs that do not realize morphemes. Morphs which have no meaning attached to them, they are empty morphs. It is sometimes useful to have a label which can be used to refer to all kinds of morphs, whether or not they realize morphemes. The term morph itself usually implies a realization of a morpheme. We can use the label formal element to refer to morphs and empty morphs, or to be deliberately vague as to whether a particular recurrent form is a realization of morpheme or not. Transfixes. Another special kind of affixes involves not only discontinuous affixes but also discontinuous bases. These are affixes which occur throughout the base, and they are thus termed transfixes. Transfixes appear only in the Semitic languages. In these languages, roots are made up of a number of consonants and can never occur in isolation. Transfixes are then added to these roots, sometimes also with prefixes or suffixes. Transfixes are made up of a number of vowels and may also involve operations or consonants. For example, consonants may be doubled. The position of the transfix varies from transfix to transfix. Some of them allow clusters of consonants in the root, other than none. Its transfix occurs in a fixed position in the root. This very complex state of affairs is illustrated for the roots KTB right and thus study below using data from Egyptian Arabic. Katab, he wrote. Daras, he studied. Jiktib, he will write. Jitris, he will study. Maktub, written. Madrus, studied. Maktaba, bookshop. Madrasa, school. Makatib, bookshops. Madaris, school. Dars, lesson. Kitab, book. Katib, clerk. Mudaris, teacher. Since they involve two sets of discontinuous morph, transfixes are the most complex type of affix. Accordingly, they have received quite a lot of attention in recent times from linguists, as these cases for various morphological theories. They raise very important problems for morphological description, but this need not concern us further here. Reduplication 3.2. Reduplications, or using some part of the base, which may be the entire base more than once in the word, is far more common across languages than the rarer types of affixation illustrated above. If the entire base is reduplicated, resembles compounding, see below section 3.6. Reduplication can also from types of affix, that is, the part of the word which is repeated may be added to the end of or the beginning of the base. All these types will be illustrated below. The examples in 17. Are from the Africans and show whole words being reduplicated. The examples in 18 are from Motu, a language of Papua New Guinea, and illustrated the use of reduplication prefixes as well as full-word reduplication in the Maori data in 19. The reduplicated part is used as a suffix. Emper, nearly, emper, very nearly, dick, tick, dick, tick, 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 very thick, three, dry, dry, three at a time. Tau, man, man, mero boy, me mero boys, mero, little boys, me mero, little boys. Ahua, appearance, ahua, resemblance, hiki, step, hiki, hope, maku, moisture, maku, ku, rather moist. Reduplication is frequently used iconically. By this I mean that the more form of the word in some ways reflects its meaning. So reduplication is frequently used to indicate plurality, intensity, and repetition, which are some of the meanings illustrated in example 17 to 19. However, reduplication is also found in less iconic uses. For example, compare the data in 13 with that below. Simulate to write, Sulit will write, Umasa to read, Babasa will read, Umaral to teach, Aral will teach. In 20, it can be seen that the future tense in Tagalog is formed by reduplicating the first consonants and vowel of the base to form a prefix. The marking of futurity with reduplication is far less iconic than marking, say, plurality with reduplication. Note also that here reduplication has been used to mark inflection, while in most of the other cases illustrated here it has been used derivationally. Reduplication then is in effect a special way of making affixes or a way of creating a special kind of compound. These affixes or compounds may however act differently from other affixes or compounds in the language concerned. This is, for instance, clearly the case with the Afrikaans example cited above, which are informally distinct from other compounds in that languages. Reduplication is usually determined in phonological terms, so that a reduplication rule will state how much of the base is to be reduplicated in terms of the consonants, vowels, syllables, and word forms. Word building by modifying of the base. 3.3. Where affixes are not used for creating new words, the most common method is to make some kind of phonological change to the base. The change may be segmental or suprasegmental. If segmental, it may affect consonants or vowels and one or more segments. The terminology surrounding the various types of change is complex and unfortunately not always illuminating, as will be seen below. Consider first modifications to the segmental makeup of the base. In the examples below, a change from a voiceless fricative to a voiced fricative cause a change from noun to verb in English. Mouth, sit, strive, thief, breath. There is no special name for this type of internal modification. It is found along with affixation in the following irregular English plurals: house, houses, mouths, paths, selves, wharves. Wives, yachts. More common is modification to a vowel sound. Such modification has different name depending on its historical sources, where it is the result of assimilation to a following vowel. Even if the later vowel has subsequently disappeared, it is called umlaut. Otherwise, it is called ablaut. Either can be referred to as a vowel mutation. The following are examples of umlaut from some of the Germanic languages: tennis, goose, geese, man, man. English: mouse, mice, foot, feet, tooth, teeth, loose, lice. Icelandic: store, big, stary, bigger. Moose, mouse, mice, mice. Sound, sound, signer, sons. Full, full, filery, fuller. Note that in some of the Icelandic examples, umlaut co-occurs with a suffix, while in other examples there is no affix. Co-occurrence of modification of the base and affixation is, in fact, a very common phenomenon. Examples of umlaut from irregular past tense in some of the Germanic language are listed in 24. Dutch: bisten, bite, bit, beat. Doen, do, die, did. Trigen, carry, trög, carried. Stillen, still, style, stall. Frisian: bleed, bleed, blitty, bled. Dredge, carry, drudge, carried. Gain, go, gone, went. Glimmy, glimmer, gloom, glimmered. Help, help, hope, helped. Icelandic: beer, I carry, bar, I carried. Gap, I give, gap, I gave. Cash, I choose, course, I choose. Take, I take, talk, I took. That umlaut is also found along with affixation can be illustrated from the past participle form of the same verbs. Dutch: gebitten, bitten. Giden, don. Gidregen, carried. Gestolen, stolen. Frisian: bled, bled. Drogen, carried. Gogen, gone. Glommen, glimmered. Holpen, helped. Icelandic: borin, carried. Gefin, given. Kosin, chosen. Tekin, taken. Although these examples have all common from the Germanic language, and the very names umlaut and umlaut are German loan words, vowel mutation is not restricted to these languages by any means, as can be seen from the examples in 26. Denka, dom, feld, dom, fields. Cat, frame, kit, frames. Met, child, mit, children. Wells, singular plural gloss. By chain, little. By dear, diff. Garv, gear, rough. Killed, heard. Transfixes. See above section 3.1.6 are viewed by some linguists as types of internal modification. Turning now to internal modification in suprasegmental structure, consider the following data from Kanuri, a language of Nigeria. The example shows the differences between the third person singular conjunctive he verbs and optative, as he is the verb tense is Kanuri. Conjunctive, optative, gloss, lazy, liz, go, to see, rest, carriage, study, high tone, falling tone. Lazy, go, to see, lazy, to see, crazy. Such processes are relatively common in the tone language of Africa, since these morphs are suprasegmental in their realization. They are sometimes treated as a suprasegmental affixes and called supraffixes or superfixes. It has been pointed out that such affixes are no more on top of the other morphs than they are underneath them, and that some simulfix would probably be a better term, but this suggestion has not been generally adopted. Stress differences such as those that distinguish the following English noun-verb pair, at least in some varieties, are also superfixes in this sense or case of suprasegmental internal modification.